Tourist attractions are like onions. Peel away the layers, and you might find something you didn't expect. You still don't believe us? What if we told you that some of the world's most iconic landmarks contain secret chambers, many of which visitors can actually visit? Yes, it is correct. These hidden caves, crawl spaces, and apartments give visitors a unique perspective on well-traveled ground. Not to mention, these are ideal hiding areas when the tourist hordes become too much. Thousands of people pass by these locations every day, unaware that they contain a hidden gem. It's easy to feel split between seeing a city's must-see prominent monuments and discovering something unseen to most passersby while arranging a trip. Unknown spaces, hidden in incredibly well-known places, seems to be a third type that checks off both of these boxes at once. Number 13. The buried remains of Little Compton Street, London, England. A fascinating mystery lies hidden behind an anonymous-looking traffic island in the center of London's busy Charing Cross Road. It's a forgotten relic of old London, tucked away beneath one of the city's busiest thoroughfares. Two tiled Victorian street names are set into the wall below ground level. If you gaze down at the metal grate that covers the island, it is a captivating view into a long-lost route buried beneath the modern-day streets of London, with the faded name of Little Compton Street. Apart from two perfectly maintained road signs, all traces of this secret London street have vanished. Number 12. Vanderbilt Tennis Club at Grand Central Terminal, New York, New York. Since the 1960s, luxurious, exclusive tennis courts have been buried on the upper levels of Grand Central Terminal, largely unknown to the thousands of commuters that pass through each day. The courts, which are positioned behind the upper portion of the terminal's prominent facade window, are currently owned by the Vanderbilt Tennis Club. So the next time you gaze up at that iconic architectural landmark, keep in mind that someone up there is putting in a few sets. Number 11. One Times Square, New York, New York. Despite its prime location in one of the world's most costly and photographed areas, the One Times Square building is almost empty. Walgreens occupies the first level and leases everything up to the 21st, but has elected to leave the building empty because the advertising on its sides generates enough revenue to keep it running. Jeff Strauss, who conducts the legendary New Year's Eve party from his 22nd floor office, is the only other tenant in the building. Above him is the New Year's Ball, which is kept on a metal roof deck all year and awaits its annual moment of glory. Number 10. Flinders Street Station Abandoned Ballroom, Melbourne, Australia. The fading grandeur of a ballroom, an abandoned remnant from the bygone period of railroad romance, can be found at Flinders Street Station, Australia's busiest railway station. While the station serves approximately 100,000 passengers each day, the historic third-floor ballroom, which has been closed to the public since 1985, is rarely visited. The venue has become so popular in recent years that a golden ticket slipped inside a select few visitors' itineraries, allowing privileged access during the Open House Melbourne weekend in 2015. Number 9. Gustave Eiffel's Secret Apartment, Paris, France. Gustave Eiffel lapped up the adulation as the Eiffel Tower opened in 1889 to global awe and acclaim. If that wasn't enough, it was soon revealed that he had constructed a little apartment on the top of the global wonder, earning him the enmity of the Paris elite, as well as his newfound renown. Eiffel's own abode was small but comfortable. The apartment was decorated in the basic style dear to scientists, according to reporter Henry Gerard, in contrast to the steely industrial girders of the remainder of the tower. Warm wallpaper was used on the walls, while soft chintzes, wooden cabinets, and even a grand piano were used to create a welcoming ambience approximately 1,000 feet in the air. Number 8. Radio City Music Hall's Secret Apartment, New York, New York. One of New York's Art Deco crown jewels is Radio City Music Hall. Over 300 million people have marveled at the magnificence of the showplace of the nation since it opened in 1932. According to folklore, the architects of the magnificent performance space decided to give a gift to the theatress impresario Samuel Roxy Rothafel to show their appreciation for his talents. They built him an apartment high up in Radio City, as elaborately detailed in the Art Deco style as the theater underneath. Roxy died in 1936, and the flat sat empty and forgotten, far above the audiences he used to entertain. Although no one lives there anymore, it is still in immaculate condition. Number 7. Hidden Art Deco tunnel underneath the New Yorker Hotel, New York, New York. The large red sign of the New Yorker Hotel is frequently photographed as a city landmark, owing to its name. The building's past, however, is mostly unknown. The New Yorker is full of unknown stories and lost secrets, including, but not limited to, the exquisite Art Deco tunnel that went from the lobby to Penn Station and is still hidden beneath 34th Street. Thousands of tourists and New Yorkers pass by the busy intersection of 8th Avenue and 34th Street without realizing that a spectacular tunnel runs beneath the historic hotel, packed with vintage hotel furnishings, chairs, carpets, and beautiful Art Deco tiling. Number 6. The tiny police station in Trafalgar Square, London, England. The tiniest police station in London is tucked away in the southeast corner of Trafalgar Square. It appears more like a neoclassical TARDIS than a police station, and there won't be a swarm of tourists gathering around it, snapping away on their cameras. The Lilliputian police station was constructed in the 1930s to act as a watchtower, keeping an eye on Trafalgar Square, which attracts demonstrators, rioters, marchers, and pigeons. There is only enough room for one person inside. Number 5. Secret apartments in the New York Public Library. New York, New York. When the branch libraries of New York City were initially created, around a century ago, they needed employees to look after them. Andrew Carnegie had donated New York $5.2 million to develop a city-wide system of library branches, all of which were coal-fired. Each had a custodian, who was responsible for maintaining the flames and typically lived in the library with their family. Those flats have been emptying out since the 1970s and 1980s, when the coal furnaces were modernized and library custodians began retiring, and the dream of living in a library has vanished. Only 13 library apartments remain in the New York Public Library system today. Some have sat empty and neglected for decades. Number 4. Secret compartment in Leonardo da Vinci statue, Fiumicino, Italy. The huge monument of Leonardo da Vinci at Rome's Fiumicino Leonardo da Vinci Airport has welcomed travelers since it was unveiled on August 19, 1960. Despite the fact that millions of people have passed by throughout the years, a secret buried inside the statue was not found until 2006. The monument was being renovated at the time, and one of the workmen discovered a remarkable find, a little hatch towards the center of the statue at a height of around 30 feet. The hatch was cautiously opened, and 2 parchments were discovered inside, both in pristine condition. Even if the statue's secret isn't well known, people are occasionally seen staring at it using binoculars, much to the delight of passersby. Number 3. The basketball court in the Supreme Court, Washington, D.C. Because Americans take sports so seriously, it's no surprise that Grand Central Station isn't the only American landmark with a sports complex. The United States Supreme Court in Washington, D.C. features a basketball court on its top floor where clerks, off-duty cops, and other Supreme Court staff can shoot hoops in between court sessions. Because it is located above the building's real courtroom, the basketball court is dubbed the highest court in the land. Byron White and Chief Justice William H. Rehnquist, according to Atlas Obscura, have both performed here. Number 2. The Hall of Records at Mount Rushmore, Keystone, South Dakota. This chamber behind Abraham Lincoln's head was designed by Gutzon Borglum to house the most important documents and artifacts in American history, such as the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. Despite the fact that the most essential papers are now housed elsewhere, the unfinished hall nevertheless houses a store of records that detail how and why Mount Rushmore came to be. You'll have to take our word for it, though, because it's not open to the public. Number 1. Royal Pavilion at Stazzini Centrale, Milan, Italy. Every day, nearly 300,000 people travel through Milan's main railway station, Stazzini Centrale. Most people have no idea that the closed doors they're walking through lead to the building's most sumptuous and private space, the paddock-lining Real or Royal Pavilion, a VIP waiting area erected in the 1920s for Italy's royal family. The royal waiting room still exists in Italy, despite the fact that the monarchy was abolished shortly after World War II. A handful of Baron rooms function as an anteroom to the higher level on the ground floor. On the first story, at the same level as the railway rails, is a beautiful chamber. There are marble interiors in several architectural styles, royal insignia sculptures, fine furnishings, furnished by the top interior designers of the time, and a balcony overlooking the public area below. That's all we had for you today. Hope you enjoyed the show. If so, please subscribe to our channel by clicking on the subscribe button. Bye! See you next time in the upcoming video.